Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and I am excited as all hell to be bringing you guys Warframe Beginner's Guides 2.5. Now you might be asking why, 2.5, because Star Short 3.0 got released, Damage 3.0 did not get released. 3.0 will be when 3.0 gets released, you know what I mean? So whenever Damage 3.0 is here, Beginner's Guide 3.0 will be here, and that will be the Beginner's Guide to go to for pretty much everybody, implying they don't change anything major with the game after that point. But yeah, I am super excited to be bringing you guys this. There is a referral link in the description below if you're completely new to Warframe. This video is a little long, but there is a lot of information in it, such as forming, modding, what you should buy with your starter platinum. It's basically just like a speed run of the prologue with a shit ton of information inside it, so I definitely recommend sitting and listening. Like, I didn't even know I was going to be this informative in the video. It's actually, pretty crazy how informative I was and how much, information I got jam-packed in the video. But I'm going to shut up now. There is a referral link in the description below for a 7-day affinity booster or XP booster, which will basically speed up your first sort of 7 days in the game. That will, count 7 days real time, not in game hours. So I do apologize if that sort of binds you to the game for 7 days. But it should be pretty helpful. And also, if you ever need to ask a question, please leave it in the comment section below. I have a really helpful community, and over on my Twitch live stream from 7 o'clock in the morning GMT to 4 in the afternoon GMT, we always live stream over at twitch.tv. So www.twitch.tv/iFlynnX. Usually the top of the Warframe Twitch directory at that time. So, if you ever have any questions, feel free to come along and ask. You will not be ignored. But anyway, guys, thank you for clicking on the video, and enjoy. Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and welcome to the first ever episode of Warframe's Beginner's Guides 2.5. Now, you might be asking yourself, Flynn, why 2.5? Why not just 3.0? Because Damage 3.0 isn't here yet, but Star Chart 3.0 is. So 2.5? Question mark? So, yeah, just welcome to the series, guys. This is going to be another 30-part series, hopefully. We're basically going to be playing through Warframe with the new Star Chart system, with the new Void system, all this new stuff. Basically, Warframe Beginner's Guide 2016, if you want to call it that. Hopefully this is good. I don't know. It's all down to you guys, but you're basically going to get to see a Let's Play of Warframe from a veteran player's perspective, right? So you're going to see the most efficient way to get started in the game. So if you watch this entire guide, you will be basically a god in Warframe at the end, right? You're going to know pretty much everything you need to know. Hopefully, that's how I aim to sort of make this guide. So there's 3 starter frames. You can obviously choose whoever you want. But we have Excalibur, Mag, Vault. Excalibur is a swordsman. He's got Slash Dash, Radio Blind, Radio Javelin, and Exalted Blade. A nice mix of offensive and defensive abilities. You can, kind of make out which ones might be the offensive and which one might be the defensive. So Slash Dash is obviously an offensive. Same with Radio Javelin and Exalted Blade. And then Radio Blind is more of a defensive ability. Then we have Mag, who is a caster Warframe. She's got Pull, Magnetize, Polarize, and Crush, a damage dealer, and a crowd control frame. Pretty good, again, all these frames sort of have a nice mix between damage dealing and defensive abilities. And then last but not least, we have Vault. Now, I'm going to be choosing Vault in this guide, and the reason I'm going to be choosing Vault is because out of the 3 Warframes, he is the most expensive to actually get out of the 3. So Excalibur, Mag, all you have to do is go to a boss, kill them, farm the parts up, and then, make the blueprints and stuff. With Vault, you actually have to go into the clan, do the research, and then you have to buy the blueprints and stuff, and then you have to craft them, and then you have to make Vault, where Excalibur and Mag, there's less sort of steps to get in them, apart from, obviously progressing, killing the bosses that drop their respective parts, etc. So Vault might not be, your desired playstyle, but he is the most expensive Warframe out of the 3. So from a completionist standpoint and a most efficient standpoint, we're going to be choosing Vault, simply because he can pretty much allow you to get through the beginning missions really quickly, where Excalibur and Mag won't really allow you to do that. They're more fun, sort of mess around, survive for a long time frame, where Vault's more of the speed runny, get everything done fast sort of frame. So we're going to choose Vault. And yeah, also a quick note, if this is your first ever time sort of playing Warframe, there is a referral link down in the description below, which will get you a 7-day affinity booster. I probably mentioned that at the beginning of the video, because I'm going to do a voiceover at the splash screen at the start, but just wanted to throw that in there in case I forget, you know, because I'm Flynn. So let's just get into the game. We'll get into the prologue, and I'll show you guys what to do then. So confirm, and then we get a nice little cutscene. We're just going to skip this and get right into it. So keyboard bindings, you can obviously set them up here. You can change your graphics settings and stuff. Warframe's pretty well optimized game. At the beginning, you have like infinite energy. We're probably just going to speedrun through this. We can't go through the portal until the Lotus, you know, does her thing. So, yeah, parkour system you're going to have to pick up. We're going to choose this sword because, again, it's more expensive to build than this bow. You can just buy that for credits, where the sword you're going to have to buy a blueprint, get crafting materials, etc. The sword is also, in my opinion, just a lot better because it's slash damage, and the bow is impact damage, which is a considerably worse damage type. So there's different damage types in the game. We'll get into that later in the guide. We can either pick up the Lado or the Kunai. Kunai is pretty good. Lado is also pretty good. I'm going to choose the MK1 Lado, simply because it feels good, man. You know, it feels good. It's a nice pistol to sort of play around with at the beginning of the game, where the Kunai they're meh, you know. You can obviously just go back and buy the Kunai in your ship for, I think, 15,000 credits. Same with MK1 Lado. So that choice really doesn't matter. It's all just down to personal preference and feel. I just like the Lado a lot more. MK1 Kunai are definitely a good weapon, but practicality, MK1 Lado is just a better feeling weapon, so I like using it. We're going to get a short cutscene here showing us Vor, and we're just going to go ahead, skip ahead. Your next objective is to go up to the top, so where do I have to go? Up here, over this way. And then we're going to have to hack this console arena after we kill the enemies shooting at us, because we don't want to die. And that opens the door for us to progress. So we're going to go ahead, progress on down. And there we go. That should be us done. We're going to also be introduced to more parkour skills. Obviously, you're not going to be as good as parkour as I am right now, but that's kind of be expected. I'm going to choose the bow and arrow because it's a lot stronger. It's also got a lot more, I guess, versatility while modding. You're going to need a lot more to make this better, but it's going to be a better weapon in general. Of course, you can also hear the enemies through this wall too, so go ahead, kill them all. So the prologue is pretty short, pretty easy. This is more going to be like a let's play type thing, guys, so yeah, it's pretty much just going to get to see how I play it and how to get through the game really fast and quickly. I've got my keyboard binding set up pretty weirdly, so yeah, I just tailor it to my own playstyle, I guess. I've got my roll bound to one of my mouse buttons, so just the roll. Sprint, or yeah, sprint's also bound to a mouse button, the mouse button 5. Roll's bound to mouse button 4. My slide-in's bound to shift. Obviously swapping weapons and going to melee is bound to F. So do what you want. You can also change where your ultimate art is and stuff, you know. So do that, but it's down to you what you want to do. That rhymed. It's down to you what you want to do. We got this. So yeah, you can see the enemy spawning. Yeah. Totally not broken at all. You also shoot through the wall. Best game. Farming enemies at the beginning of the game. It's actually pretty fun just killing enemies. Die. Die. Black guy behind me? No? There is. Isn't there? No, maybe my headphones are just jacking up. And yeah, that's the first mission done and dusted. Now we're going to go into our ship. We're going to get our first daily login. Go ahead, open it up. We get 10 oxium, which is pretty good first rule. You can go ahead, pause the game, do again some more of your options and stuff you want to. The account for this beginner's guide account is called That Beginner's Guide, guys. So if you want to go ahead, add that. I might play with some of you guys on this account while I'm doing the series. If I need to pick up some other players, that would be cool. So yeah, now Lotus is going to talk a lot about things that doesn't really matter, so I'm going to go ahead and edit out until I can actually interact with things again. So yeah. Okay, so he's allowing us to actually interact with the arsenal. So go down to the arsenal, put the thing in, and then that's going to allow us to look through different weapons and equip different stuff. So we have our, you can go ahead, look for all the different Warframes, which you can't buy yet. Look at all the different weapons, which you can't buy yet. Look at all the different primary, secondaries, things like that, sentinels, etc., gear, different emotes that you can equip, things like that. It's very simplistic. Again, Lotus and Ordis are just going to talk a lot, and you can't really do much in your ship because we're going to have to go through and get all these different segments, which is what I'm kind of waiting to do now, waiting for Lotus and Ordis to stop talking and allow me to progress in the game. Now, if you're a new player to Warframe, this is the new star chart. This is a lot easier to understand for you than it is for veteran players, simply because this is your sense of progression. So the first ever planet that you'll be going to is Earth. So this is Earth right here, and you're going to want to play a mission called E-Prime, which you can access just by clicking this little tab up here. This is like your, missions tab. So there's these things called missions, which is represented by this little symbol. Then there's alerts, and these are invasions. These are syndicate missions. These are void fishers, which are endgame content, and these are sorties, which is also endgame content. So we're going to continue with the War's Prize Quest, restoring the ship's comms, E-Prime Earth, level 1 to 2. Just go ahead, press that there, and it will automatically start the mission. So, again, in this mission, this is just a small, interception mission, I guess. Basically where you have to capture a flag and hold it for a certain period of time. So, maybe it's, is it a interception mission? I don't know, it might be an interception mission or a spy mission. Haven't really played this in a long time, like the prologue of the game. But I think it is actually, yeah, this is going to be a spy mission. So basically a spy mission is a stealth mission. You don't actually have to stay stealth, you just don't have to trigger the alarms in the spy vault room, right? So there's a bunch of different tile sets for the spy vault room. So we're just going to go ahead and enter in now. Sometimes these doors have like little scanners on them, which will sap your energy or capture you, not capture you, but like turn on an alarm if they catch you. So this laser is going to set the alarm, so you want to try to avoid that laser represented by these little things here. So that'll turn on sometime, but this one doesn't seem to be active. There's also a force field there. One can appear right here too, in the later game content. So, to progress through this one, basically you can either choose left or right, doesn't really matter. This one's obviously going to hurt you, and this one is a lot more safer. So just slide in below here, and then there's a flare in the grounds, jump across, and then what's going to happen is there's going to be an enemy, kill the enemy, done and dusted, easy peasy. And yeah, hack this console. There you go, done and dusted. And then hack the console again, and then this is basically going to be your mission complete. Completely undetected, easy peasy done, and you get a lot of XP for doing that. This door's going to open and allow you to go back up, and all those force fields are going to be turned off. So really simplistic mission. That's spy in a nutshell. Actual spy missions have free vaults with more complicated sort of puzzle rooms, but I'll make sure to make a video sometime going through all of the different puzzle rooms and how to complete them in the most efficient way possible, and that will be linked in the description below when and if that is actually uploaded and completed. So I'm gonna have to remind myself to do that. But yeah, so that's pretty much the first mission of the War's Prize Quest, done and dusted. Really simplistic, really easy, and yeah, easy game. So at the end of that mission, you got these mods called Hornet, Strike, Restoration, and Pressure Point. These are basically your damage mods, so putting these on your weapons to deal more damage. But the only thing with those is they are actually damaged themselves. And right now the game's actually bugged, so I'm going to have to restart the game to continue this recording, which is pretty annoying. This is one of the new bugs that was introduced with his new star chart. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and restart. Now, I don't want to turn this into a complaining video, but they have really messed up the early game. They have changed a lot. Just whenever I logged in from that bug happening, I had an Alliance emblem on my right shoulder and the Asterisk on my left shoulder. And now I went into the Arsenal and it just disappeared. So I don't know what they've been doing with the early game. They must be trying a lot of different things, but it's absolutely insane to see the amount of bugs that are in the game at this moment in time, especially for the game being out this long, and the amount of effort that they put into the overhauls and stuff. So it's definitely something worth taking into consideration before we jump into the game. This game does have a lot of bugs in it. So now we have access to the market. You probably noticed that you have a currency known as platinum up here. You only have 50 of it. This is your premium currency within the game. This is how Digital Extremes make their money, by giving you platinum, right? So you can get platinum by either buying the Prime Access packs or just pressing this Get Platinum tab. Now, a lot of you guys, probably if it's your first time playing, you will get platinum discounts, right? And that will sort of incentivize you to buy platinum. But if you're going to spend any money on this game at all, what I recommend doing is either buying the Prime Access or the Prime Accessories. Because basically, what the Prime Access or Prime Accessories is going to do is the Prime Accessories is going to give you a 90-day affinity and credit booster on top of exclusive Prime Accessories. So things like Prime Cyandanas, Prime Cosmetics, if you get what I'm saying. The Prime Access is going to give you access to in-game items such as new Prime weapons, new Prime frames. It can range anywhere from, I think, £30 to £120, depending on the Prime that's available at that time and how many different tiers you're looking to purchase. So if you buy the most expensive tier at £120, you will get, you know, the Prime frame, the 2 weapons that comes with it, and the Prime accessories all in that one bundle, and it'll tell you the value. Plus, you will get platinum on top of that. I would never, ever, 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 ever recommend buying platinum on its own unless you have a 75% discount. Just my opinion. But if you use my referral code and you buy platinum, I will get 10% off the platinum that you buy. So that's just kind of your way of giving back to me, I guess, if you use my referral code or sign up under my name or whatever. But I'm going to show you guys how to use your start in platinum in this video. So if we go ahead and we go to equipment, and then we go to components, and then we head to this thing known as an Orokin reactor. Now, a lot of veteran players are going to disagree with what I'm about to tell you guys, but basically what this Orokin reactor does is it gives you a double mod capacity, right? So whenever you go down, you go to your frame, whenever we progress through the story a little bit more, what we're going to have is we're going to have an upgrade section, right? And then within this upgrade section, we're going to have a capacity. And that capacity is going to limit the amount of mods that we can put on our frame. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into a mission, and I'm also going to explain you know, what I'm talking about in there, and the actual mission itself. As I was saying, the Orokin reactor is basically this thing that's going to double your mod capacity, right? So if your Warframe is at level 30, so max rank, your Warframe is going to have a mod capacity of 30. If you put an Orokin reactor on, your Warframe is going to have a mod capacity of 60. A max life vitality mod gives you plus 220% health, and it costs 12 points to put on your frame. So you see where I'm going with this? You need to have these capacity or these mods points or whatever to equip the new mods, such as vitality to increase your health, to increase your shields, to increase the power of your abilities, etc. So that's why I recommend actually picking up an Orokin reactor early game, because it's going to be a long time before you get a new Warframe to actually play around with, because what Warframe veterans will tell you to do is actually spend that on a slot, right? And that slot's going to allow you to purchase and play with more Warframes, or farm up more Warframes, you know? But, you know, you're not going to be getting that for a long time, and by the time that you do get that, then, you know, you're going to have a lot more equipment, you're going to have a lot more stuff to play around with, so, you know, you might not need those slots necessarily there and then, you know what I mean? So there's going to be a lot more in your scope. So basically what we just did there now is a rescue mission. We hacked the console, we went in there, we hacked another console, we saved the prisoner. The prisoner's going to run behind us. We can kind of just jump on ahead and get to the end of the mission, and that's going to be mission completed. And that's the rescue mission pretty much done. Nothing really hard about it. Of course, we're going to get cutscenes in between, and it's kind of annoying, this bit. It's cool, but it's annoying too. But yeah. As I said at the beginning, we had an alliance emblem on right there. See there? There's an alliance emblem on. I think that's just to show that you're a beginning player. And we also have the asterisk on our right arm, so, you know. That was not there in the ship, but it's now on our arm now. So, you see the bugs sort of appearing. And then that is the end of the rescue mission. So, I'll talk to you guys back in the ship. So, that mission just got our modding section. We can go ahead, install it there. See our Tenno clip through the wall. Wait for the little cutscene to activate. So now we can go to our arsenal, and equip these upgrades that I was talking about. So you see we have a mod capacity of 2, we put on this mod called continuity, and that's going to take the 2 capacity right there. And we also have these things called polarities, which is basically these little ships in the top right hand corner. You match the ships, it halves the cost. So you see you put it on something without the ship, it takes up 2. You put it on something that matches the ship, it takes up half the cost. You put it on something that doesn't, and it's going to basically double the cost so you can equip it. So modding is really important. It's basically how you upgrade your Warframes and weapons. So that's why I told you guys to buy the working reactor. Now that you've done that mission, you'll have this thing called actions down here in the modding section. Go ahead, press that, and install that on your starting Warframe, and that's going to double your mod capacity, and that's going to stay there no matter what level you are. Just do not sell this Warframe after you have installed that. So now I can equip that, and I can also equip the stretch mod, and then I can also equip the vitality mod, you know what I mean? So there you go, you just upgraded your Warframe, you give it more duration on its abilities, you give more range on its abilities, and you give it 30% more health, which is awesome. Now, do bear in mind all these mods are damaged, so they're not really that important, because they give very minor buffs, and they're not really that upgradable, so these are going to be deductible. You can sell them off for credits and stuff later, as long as you hover over them and they say damaged, they're not really worth anything at all. So we're just going to go ahead, progress on to the next mission. Very simplistic, just keep on following the quest line and then you should be good to go. So I think this mission right here is known as a sabotage mission, and basically this mission is we come in here and we sort of destroy something. That's pretty much it. It's really easy, especially in the early game. So if you kind of just do what I'm doing, I'm killing enemies. These things right here are so important. These are mods. You want to pick up every single one of those that you see. So you see we just got a new mod known as Steel Fiber. It's also damaged because we're in the early game right now, but whenever you get into the later game, you will never ever see a damage mod again. But yeah, basically that's how you're going to farm up mods, by killing enemies and waiting for them to drop those. So yeah, so we picked up that, and now we're gonna have to kill bad guys. So this isn't actually a sabotage mission as I thought it was. It's actually just a deception mission where you come in and pick something up and then go again. So easy peasy, I guess. That's an energy orb that's gonna restore your energy. Pretty useful to know that they are blue, because abilities can kind of, you know, save your life a lot. And they're definitely a big part of the end game of the game. These bad guys, this AI, you're not setting a good example right now, DE, with with the AI, you know. Totally not just walking in front of everything and killing them, you know. Totally not doing that at all. Killing all the bad guys. So you kind of get the gist of this mission. Just kill all the bad guys, and then you're pretty much done. Just look at your mini-map, the red dots. Really easy mission. I shouldn't really even be showing you guys this because it's that easy. Like, you should understand how to do a mission now. Just look at your mini-map and follow it. Kill the bad guys. The red dots are the bad guys, if you didn't know that. If you're colorblind, there should be an option showing you the different colors or something, because they did put that into an update. By the way, because you have this bow and arrow, you can actually shoot through shields whenever it's fully drawn back. Just a nice tip to know. And these bad guys are dodging my arrows, which is very bad. Know what I mean? Very bad. So we just leveled up again. Leveling up again is very important, as it's going to increase your mod capacity. And I kill the bad guys, killing all the bad guys, killing all the bad guys. I'm probably just going to cut it and then talk to you guys back in the ship, because this is kind of just very straightforward. So we're back on the ship. We can now install the Foundry, which is where we're going to build stuff. It's going to allow us to build new weapons, new equipment, things that are just going to help us in game. The build times basically is how they monetize your game. You can rush things, or you can let them sit there for 12 hours. For a new frame, it's 72 hours, so 3 days to build a new Warframe, plus the parts and stuff you have to build, which take 12 hours a piece. So there's 3 pieces to a Warframe: the neurotics, the system, and the chassis. They all take 12 hours each. You can start building all 3 at the same time, so they all finish at the same time, or you can do them all on separate days or whatever, however you want to do it. And then you have to put all 3 together by using the Warframe's blueprint, and that'll take 3 days in itself. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about modding, as it's such an important part of the game. We just got these new mods known as Being mods. So we have Being of Grineer and Being of Corpus. I want to introduce you guys to these things known as configs. So if you go to your Warframe or your weapon, we're in our weapon right now. So what you want to be doing is you want to be taking a look at the stats of the different mods and what they actually give you. So this Duration mod gives us plus 10% damage. We want to go ahead and throw that on. And that's just going to increase like all these different damage types right here. So we have impact, puncture, and slash. Impact, puncture, and slash are all different damage types. They have better sort of multipliers or percentage bonuses versus particular different factions. So impact damage is good versus the Corpus faction, puncture damage is good versus the Grineer faction, and slash is good versus the infested faction. And you know, so that's a pretty simplistic rundown. So you can throw on these different mods. So this is going to do more damage versus the Grineer faction, and this is going to do more damage versus the Corpus faction. So in your configs, what you should be doing is you should have one config dedicated to Grineer, one config dedicated to Corpus, and one config dedicated to Infested. So we're going to go ahead. This is our Grineer config, and then this is going to be our Corpus config right here. You can do that with all your weapons. Sure, if you want, go ahead, throw on Hornet Strike. And these are elements. Now, these are kind of like they're like, I guess you can kind of merge these together in a sense. If you want to go ahead and put on the Convulsion, wait, hold on, I can't actually show you guys that because this hasn't got enough levels yet, but I'll show you guys this later. But basically this is your main source of again, upping your damage a lot more, because if you put on an element which is good versus a really tough enemy, such as a Bombard, which is an enemy which launches missiles, he takes more damage versus radiation, which what we would make if we were to put Convulsion and Heated Charge beside each other in these 2 slots up here. Basically what would happen is you get another little thing which would show radiation damage. So I would take Hornet Strike off, throw this up here. I can't because level 4 mod, but if I were to put Convulsion on, you would add another tab which had electricity damage, and then it would have a number, so 5%, or 10% of the total damage which this adds up to, and then that would be there and displayed. This is your melee modding, so you want to be throwing on attack speed and obviously your base damage. So let's not get too deep into that yet, and just kind of continue. If you ever get lost, just remember this little symbol up here is going to guide you into doing the next part of the quest. So I'm going to go ahead, jump in. So this mission is versus Corpus, the second enemy type we were talking about. These guys are kind of like merchants. They have laser weapons and robots and stuff. You know, they're probably one of the easiest yet most annoying factions in the game. Really depends on how you look at them. So yeah, it's like, yeah, they're really tedious to play against because they have abilities which are going to nullify your Warframe. So there's enemies known as nullifiers, which are pretty annoying. And there's also like these other ones on ice skates, which can just like disable your abilities. Also, you'll notice that now that we're level 3, there is a new ability unlocked. So I can press 2 and activate speed. And that's just going to speed me, my reload speed and my attack speed up. So sprint speed, attack speed, and melee attack speed is sort of increased depending on the amount of power strength we have equipped. Now, I know this is a lot to take in, but I'm kind of trying to make this like a let's play sort of perspective, showing you guys the fastest way to do things so you can kind of get on your feet as fast as possible. If you're keen on listening, you know, make sure to take notes, because all the things I'm saying have like legitness to it, you know? I probably should have did these 2 capsules first, but whatever, what are you going to do about it? I'm already done. So, again, just activate speed, run through the mission. You don't have to kill every mob on the way. Of course, you're going to get XP for killing them, but you're not going to get a lot. It's kind of deductible. So, there's no real reason to kill every single mob. Just kill those in your way and then move on. Unless you're playing like a defense mission or something, which we haven't even gotten to yet. which aren't really relevant anymore, unless you absolutely have to play them to progress in the star chart. So, you know, it's done to you what you want to play. All I'm saying is not really relevant in today's update. So, if I was playing online, that would have been a 2-man door. You would have had to activate and press that button at the same time. But because I'm smart and I played solo, then we did good. I definitely recommend playing solo at the beginning of the game and kind of just running through it. Because if you play with near players, they're just going to hold you back because they're going to be opening up loot containers and stuff, which really don't serve any purpose at all, apart from sometimes they drop a mod, which, you know, may or may not be good. Majority of times, not good, So after that mission, you should have got like a Foundry segment, and then you would have to build like this asterisk thing, which would be like right here, but I already clicked it, and yeah, Bora won't shut up. So if we press escape, and then we should be activating a cutscene. Yep. And we take this thing off our foot and arm, and there we go. And then Bora's still taking us over, so we gotta go kill him now. Spoilers. Pretty much the first boss fight. If he had stopped talking, it would be nice if we could progress, you know? So, this mission is the sabotage mission, you know? Basically what's happening now, if you want to keep up with the storyline at all, we have to find a nav segment to go to Mercury so we can kill Vor, because he's like took over our brain or something, and yeah. Spooky memes. It's not really explained too well. I mean, if you're playing the game and you have the voice and stuff on, sure. But because I'm a YouTube commentator and I'm telling you guys how to play the game, I gotta have Lotus turned off, because Lotus and Ortis and Vor, they like to talk a lot. So this mission is gonna represent you with a choice. The choice that you make here doesn't matter whatsoever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So this thing's gonna show up. We're gonna wait for this. Vor's gonna get off our screen. And that's it. We're done. Now I just gotta wait for the green thing to appear on our map. Killed all the bad guys. Wait for it. So yeah, the green thing's there. Doesn't matter if you do the extra objective. Completely honest, like I said. Doesn't affect the game at all. Floating in midair. Cutscene in midair. Arrow in the head. Still not dead. My name's Fred. Wait for it. The best bow in the game is called the Dread. And come on. There we go. And mission done. Easy peasy. Now Lotus is going to guilt trip you for not saving those guys, but whatever. It's fine. So we got fusion cores, and we use this to upgrade mods. So, again, see you guys in the ship. So, I installed a nav segment, which means we can progress. Not too sure why those are still a thing. But we've seen at the end of that in the last mission, we got these things known as fusion cores, and these are what we're going to use to upgrade mods. So if you go ahead and you click on a mod, for example, we have this redirection mod. You go ahead, press fusion, which is going to put you into this new fusion screen. Not new, but fusion screen. And then you go to your fusion cores. You click the fusion core you want to use. You go select all, and then it puts ranks into the thing. So we see right now it costs 4 to equip on our Warframe. It gives us a 40% shield capacity boost, and then, you know, it's rank 0. It's completely unranked. So if we go ahead, press the fusion cores, press select all, it increases how much it costs to put in the Warframe. It also increases the rank, so it goes up to rank 2, and we have 120% shield capacity bonus. And because this isn't a broken mod, there's no like cracks on it, there's no little text here saying it's broken. This is a mod that's worth upgrading, but I'm not going to upgrade redirection simply because 99.9% of the time it's always better to run a non-broken vitality over redirection, so we're going to save those cores for that. Remember, every little helps, guys, every little helps, and we're just going to go ahead and continue with the mission. So we're going to confront Captain Vor on Earth, and yeah. Spooky, scary spaceship. We're going to go kill Vor today, guys. This is going to be super easy, you know? Super duper easy. Ah, okay, don't want to do this. Flynn, please. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Stealth kill bonus. Oh, mod. Hello. Another stealth kill bonus. Stealth kill affinity bonuses are great, guys, for leveling up early game. So if you want to try to chain stealth kills together to get a nice little bonus in XP. What we just picked up there is a resource capsule. That's going to give us resources to allow us to build stuff and stuff. So, whoops. There you go. It's dead now. So that's the resource capsule right there. The orange ones are common. The green ones are rare. So keep an eye out for those. Like that. You know, you can break containers, get them, but again, deductible amount. Here's Captain Vor. Basically what Captain Vor is going to do is not kill us because he sucks. He's probably one of the easiest bosses in the game. Blue ones are like resources used to build a rare resource, which you don't have access to yet because you're not in the clan. But we're going to go ahead and kill Vor. Pretty easy. Just go for headshots on him. Make sure you have that Bane of Grineer mod equipped in your modding section, plus the Suresh mod, and it's going to be pretty easy. Also, make sure to use your abilities to stun enemies if you're playing as Vault. Excalibur, if you're playing as Excalibur, of course, the slash dash doesn't stun enemies, but the second ability will, so make sure to use that. Mag, her first ability will. Her second ability is Magnetize, which will amplify your damage. So you want to go ahead and hit Vor with Magnetize. That'll pretty much make your life a lot easier. So it's going to amplify any damage you do to the bubble that you put around them and turn it into like explosion damage, I guess. But yeah, this is going to be really easy. You see the amount of damage just did there with that headshot. He's going to spawn in enemies, which are pretty much just going to like murder because they're that weak to this bow and arrow. If you're using the Braton at this point, this would be a lot harder because it has little to no puncture damage on it, where this bow and arrow has a lot of puncture damage. But yeah, Vor is pretty much dead. I mean, I don't even know where his body went. He kind of just ragdolled. Where he at though? Okay, maybe he just disappeared, but whatever. Hard boss. Very hard. I've done this boss so many times, I don't even know. It's like he's never actually killed me. I don't think I can remember a time where Vor killed me. But don't worry. It gets better. This game does get better. Trust me. It gets a lot better. But we're going to go down the mission now. And we're going to get pretty dank rewards. You can get, if you can replay this mission, kill Vor again, and you can get rewards such as a Chronos blueprint and parts for a secondary weapon known as the Seer, which you can build and use later on, which if you want to come back and farm those up, it is a pretty good idea because that'll go towards your master rank, which we'll talk about whenever we go to the ship, I guess. So now that you've completed the Vor's prize quest, next time you open the game, you should get this little inbox message saying that, yay, you did it, and the Door of the Explorer theme song will play, you know, saying you did it. But before we end that mission, I said I was going to talk a little bit about master rank. And basically what master rank is, it's the little number that's beside your name, which signifies, you know, how much equipment you've leveled up in the game. So if we go ahead, click show profile, we are now currently at unranked. So we go to equipment. We can see the weapons that we, you know, haven't ranked up. So it says completed 0 out of 315. But we can see the weapons that we own, right? So we have Tuscana at rank 3, and it has a little XP bar right here. So whenever this gets to level 30, it's going to be deemed as completed. And then that's going to be, you know, the first item completed. Same for Warframes and, you know, primary and secondary weapons. Once they get to max 30 for the first time, they are signified as completed, and you get all the mastery XP from that one item. There's a mechanic in the game called Forming, which is going to reset the rank of that said item, and basically allow you to make it more powerful. That does not count towards your mastery rank XP. So mastery rank is just basically going to allow you to buy more powerful equipment in the store. So if you go ahead, open up the store, go to home, go to Warframes, and then look for the Rhino Warframe, you're going to see master rank locked, meaning that you cannot purchase or use that Warframe or weapon yet. So there's a lot of weapons locked behind master rank, which you can't actually get to yet. So hopefully this first episode did a lot of briefly explaining the mechanics of the game to you. I briefly explained modding, how to, I guess, make your modding more efficient at the beginning of the game. Briefly explained mastery, briefly explained parkour, showed you the best weapons to choose at the start, briefly explained crafting, explained how to spend your beginning platinum. Actually, that's a good point. If you want to spend the rest of your platinum on things known as slots, you go to equipment, bring up the tab again, hover over it, go to slots, spend it on, I would want to say, you can either buy 2 sets of weapon slots, or you can buy 1 single Warframe slot. It's down to you, really. I would say weapon slots. Let's go ahead and buy the weapon slots. So, remove from wish list, purchase again. And there you go, you're left over with 6 platinum. And I'll teach you guys how to get more platinum later on in the series. But basically what that's going to allow you to do is have more Warframes and weapons. If you go ahead and pause the game, go to equipment, go to inventory, you see you have an unlimited number of slots. So you have vault in your first slot here, and then you have space for 1 extra Warframe. Then you're going to have to start buying more slots, or else you'll have to sell one of your frames, because you can see you can sell your vault Warframe for 10,000 credits, which isn't worth it at all. Never sell your Warframes or weapons. So see them here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weapon slots left over now, saying you bought those extra slots. So that is going to be it for episode 1 of Warframes Beginner's Guide 2.5. I hope you got a lot from this video. If you did, please hit that like button below, and you'll see the next episode. Hit subscribe, because I'm so excited to be recreating the series again. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but it's kind of like, holy shit, I just want to explain so much about the game. And yeah, I'm kind of having a little nerdgasm. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.